This is the first. Very first. And it's going to be a double event because it's the first one. It's called, as you all know, and for some of you that don't, it's called Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace. Now, just so you know, if you hear any whining, it's my dog, okay? Still learning. So I got two things I want to talk about today. One, bad drivers. That's right, guys. And the second one, I was listening to the radio, and they were talking about government spending, flying, taking trips, meetings, personal meetings, stuff like that. So we're going to talk about bad drivers first, and then we'll talk about government spending. So as you know, well, some of you anyways, I really can't stand bad drivers. I swear at them, I get angry. One of these days I'm going to do an on-site video. I'm going to show you what I mean. Alright? Here's the thing. Get on the road, and you got like these guys that just, I don't know, for whatever reason, they think that they get out there on the road, especially on the highway, and they think they can just do whatever the hell they want. There's no consequences. They can speed, they can go 150 kilometers an hour on the road. They don't signal, they just, it makes me wonder some days where the hell they got their license from. Like, seriously, where did they get their license from? They must have gone to some mom and pop place, laid down $300, did some stupid driver's test, and then that was it. And now they're on the road, and they're sitting there going, oh, well, I drive this big goddamn truck, fancy thing, what the hell ever, and you just kind of go, oh yeah, here's this big guy, or whatever. And the funny thing is it's not just guys, it's women. You get a lot of women out there who don't know how to drive. Sure, they say that they say that insurance rates for women are lower. Maybe it's because they're not as aggressive. But funny thing is aggressiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you are a bad driver. You can be a bad driver and be a timid driver. The ones who go on they're on the road and they're on the fast lane or even in the slow lane and they're going 10, 20 clicks below the limit and they're backing everybody up. And now you've got traffic jams and everybody going a half a car length in between each other. And of course, you're bound to have an accident. And this happens usually when it's snowing or the conditions are horrible. And they're always the worst ones, right? They never seem to really know how to drive properly in the right weather. Or especially the wrong weather for all that matters. They cause traffic jams. They cause accidents. They may not necessarily be in the accident, but they're causing the accident. So, what do? There's not much you can really do. There's not much you can really do. You either have to avoid them or just deal with them. And unfortunately, some people, when they deal with it, get what they call road rage. You can't really do anything. They're going to get themselves into trouble. They may not necessarily be in the accident, but who are on their own road and they're very disrespectful towards you. That's right. They drive careless. They drive not only are they speeding, but they're not doing the necessary things. They're not signaling. It's horrible. It makes you wonder. Yeah. I'd sure love to be able to give them a piece of my life. And in all honesty, when I'm behind the wheel, I do. I gotta admit, I swear at them. I give them hell. I'm almost as if I'm telling them what they should do. And yeah, I know I'm not the most perfect driver. Okay, I understand that. But there are a lot of things that I don't do easy. Like tailgating. I don't know how many times I've been driving down the road, like on a 70 zone, and they're just tailgating. They're like one besides the other, right? It's just ridiculous. And they're bound to cause an accident. And the funny thing is, it makes me wonder how the hell do they get out of these things without being in an accident? I really wonder. It baffles me some days, and I don't understand. Like you just want to pull them over and beat them on the head and say, "Smarten up." I'm not gonna swear. I'll try not to, but because I want to be able to let kids watch. Government spending. Now, I'm not sure where you guys are from. I know a lot of you are from Ontario, and you're out in the Maritimes, and some of you, you're in Manitoba. We're everywhere, and even in the U.S. Government spending lately, I swear, for the past few years has been a big no. They're always very critical on premiers and governors and senators spending money irresponsibly for whatever the hell they want. The last week, our premier of Alberta, Alison Redford, has had this problem apparently where she spent $45,000 to go see Nelson Mandela's funeral in South Africa. And God, did they ever give her hell for that. They're saying, well, why didn't she pay like a typical regular class for $1,000 or $900? Apparently they said it was $900 that she could have spent instead of spending this $45,000. So of course they obviously went on a private jet. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But as far as I know, I think they went on their own jet and spent far too much money. Okay, now. So basically, she actually came clean about this. She's going to repay some of her expenses. Okay, so a lot of them, apparently she took her daughter with her and one of her daughter's friends while she was going on trips because she's complaining about how she's not spending enough time with her family, and so she brings her daughter so that she can see her as they're going around, and when she has her free time. And if she gets really busy, then brings her daughter's friend so that they can hang out while she does her thing, and of course they get together later on. So now there's a big debate on the radio that they were talking about where people are saying, is that right? And there's a lot of people that are saying no, they don't agree with it at all. They don't think that they should be spending taxpayers' money. And actually they kind of did a little mini poll where they said, if the premier said, jump on my plane, let's go to Vancouver, would you do it? It's amazing how many people said no. They don't want to have their own tax money going towards a flight to wherever on the premier's bill. So it really makes you just kind of wonder, right? You wonder why we're paying so much damn taxes and we're such debt and our deficit's rising. Because instead of spending it on education and healthcare and paying down the debt or fixing the roads, which a lot of roads need fixing. Here in Alberta and anywhere else, I'm sure in Ontario, the roads are horrible in a lot of places. And you get potholes every damn spring and you can't do anything about it. It makes you wonder. Like, Alberta doesn't have a military. Oh, could you imagine if we did? It would be ridiculous. We'd be way even higher debt than we are now. So you just makes you wonder, like, what the hell are you gonna do? So, to wrap up, this is a test, remember. I'm gonna eventually figure out a time frame. Normally the shows will only be one topic per show. I'm gonna try to make it about 6 minutes long, give you a decent time to watch. The government is definitely irresponsible. You've got people like Rob Ford in Toronto as their mayor, who's a joke, and he thinks it's hilarious and he's getting Toronto exposure when actually he's making a fool of himself. You've got senators from all over, 3 senators now, who are facing criminal charges for fraud, spending money like whatever they want and then trying to cover it up. And you've got premier spending, $45,000 on a flight just for a funeral. Will it stop? I don't think it will stop. obviously it's never going to happen. This is going to happen when you and I are 16 years old. When our kids are getting jobs for the first time, it's still going to happen. And the thing is as long as it continues, obviously the gap between the poor and the rich are going to continue to grow. It's going to expand, bigger gap, and we're never going to get out of this. And as far as bad drivers go, I guess you just have to live with it. What are you going to do? You can't pull them over. You can't arrest them or give them tickets because you're not the police. And the police, of course, they don't have the resources or the people to go out and just ticket everybody. I wish they would. Anyways, shout out to Roughing After the Whistle website, sports forum, great place. And stay tuned. I'm not sure if the video every week will come out on the same day. It depends on my schedule and how things are going. April might be a little bit of a busy month. That's for spring. Hey, just starting out. Let me know what you think down at the bottom in the comment section. If you have any tips or advice or suggestions, let me know. This is definitely my first try, so it's live and learn. Let me know. Anyways, see you in